Hello scientists, today in chemistry we'll be discussing periodic table, specifically periodic table or the first 20 elements. Periodic table is very important in chemistry because without the knowledge of periodic table, one might find it difficult to understand chemistry. Most things in chemistry they revolve around periodic table. Hence, the need for students to understand periodic table. So we'll be summarizing periodic table. Subsequently, we'll be teaching them one after the other. So periodic table they are the representation of elements. So in periodic table, with the help of periodic table, one can determine the physical property and chemical property and trends of elements or an element. So periodic table is very very important. And for an element to be placed in a particular group in the periodic table, the number of electron in the outermost shell must be the same. For example, an element with 2 electrons in its outermost shell will be in group 2, while that with 6 electrons in the outermost shell will be in group 6. On the other hand, for periods, for an element to be in a particular period, they must have the same number of shells. Like those with one shell, like hydrogen and helium, they are in period 1. So those in period 2, they will have 2 shells. Period 3, 3 shells. So in the periodic table, we have the horizontal representation and the vertical representation. So the vertical representation, which are groups 1, groups 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6, group 7, and group 0 or group 8. So the vertical representation represent the groups, while the horizontal representation they represent the periods. So we have period 1, period 2, period 3, and period 4. We'll be stopping here because we are discussing first 20 elements. So under the first 20 elements, we have hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, and calcium. So group 1, group 2, group 3 elements, they are all metals except hydrogen. Hydrogen is placed in group 1 because it has 1 electron in its outermost shell. Hydrogen is not a metal, rather is a non-metal. So in group 4 we have carbon, silicon, then down the groups. So carbon is a non-metal, silicon is a metalloid, otherwise known as semi-metals. So when you go down the group, you find out that you will get to a place where you have metals. So group 4 they go from non-metals to metalloid, then to metals. Then we have group 5, group 6, and group 7. These ones are non-metals. We have group 0 or group 8. So they are inactive gases or non-reactive gases because they have complete octet or duplex structure. For example, helium has 2 electrons in its outermost shell. Hence, it has complete electron. Likewise, neon has 8 electrons in its outermost shell, so it has attained its octet structure. So we have group 7 elements. Group 7 elements, they are very reactive. In fact, they are the most reactive non-metals because they have 1 electron. They have 7 electrons in the outermost shell. They require only 1 to complete their octet structure. Hence, they are very reactive. They are the most reactive non-metals. Likewise, in group 1. Group 1 is where you have elements like lithium, sodium, and potassium. Lithium, sodium, and potassium, they are all metals. They have 1 electrons in the outermost shell. So they are eager to give out that electron. So they are very, very reactive. So we have that groups 1 and groups 2, they belong under s orbital. Then we have group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6, group 7 to 0. They belong to group B. So these ones are group S and these ones are group B. As usual, I'll be giving you some exercises to do. So, which groups do the following elements belong to? 1. Sodium. 2. Helium. 3. Silicon. B. Which periods do the following elements belongs to? 1. Calcium. 2. Hydrogen. 3. Phosphorus. So go through them, answer your questions, and write them in the comments. I'll be in the comments checking your answers and marking them. If you have further questions, you can ask. Subsequently, we'll be treating periodic table bit by bit. Thank you.